Sagittarius. Welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing? Can you see me okay? Probably just catching the top of my head, aren't you? Well, let's get started. My name is Patty. I'm here to do your intuitive tarot for the 12th through the 18th. Guys, there is a new moon on the 12th. Woohoo! So a lot of energies coming in from, I would say, 9th through the 15th about. So if you feel a little bit of craziness going on in your life, that's pretty much what it is. However, the full moon really had some good energies in it. If you were able to see the full moon, if you're catching this reading before the new moon, please go back and watch the full moon reading that I did. For those of you that have never seen one, I do astrology first and then I go into a reading. They are live so that you can ask questions or just communicate or say hello to everybody, have fun, that kind of a thing. So let's get started. For those who are new, I'm using oracles first. I'm picking 3 oracles. One is the divine, one is for the current energies for the week, and the third is for future energies. I usually say it's for the weekend to the next week, but these are actually energies that are going to carry through for a couple of months. So some people take notes on my tarot because it's more about growth. It's about helping you in your challenges, your struggles. It's maybe you have a question. That's why the Divine's card is first. Maybe you're struggling over something and you really need to listen to Spirit and what they want and what they have to say. So that's why that card is really important. They created a theme for the week. And, definitely. Okay. And so that's where we start. Then we go to the tarot cards. All right. So we do have a first card out, and I will mix astrology and numerology because these are all energies. And for those of you that want to be politically correct, I call the divine he. He is not a he. I understand that. It's just the way I call him. Okay, it's just to put a twist on it so that you can understand who I'm talking about. Some people don't like to hear God. Some people don't like to hear divine. Some people don't like to hear sacred one. So I just call him. All right. So, no, that's interesting because that was the first card out for Leos. Wow. Okay. So the first card out is the Divine's card, and it is the number 3. So it's about acknowledgement. It's about understanding and acknowledging and accepting that this may be something that somebody needs to work on. This is the Wasp is about anger, retaliation, jealousy. So the Wasp is a low vibrational energy, and that is something that really needs to be flipped upside down. This is something that really needs to come in reverse. So unfortunately, the Divine is saying, well, we know that by what's going on in the world today. There's so much anger, there's so much hatred, there's so much hostility and jealousy, jealousy is an insecurity, and you got to be secure in yourself to know yourself well enough that you don't need to be insecure, that the Divine has things happen, people come into your life, some people go for a reason, and things go for a reason. It's a timing thing, and we'll never understand it, but we just have to accept it. But some people don't, so that's where the jealousy and the anger and the retaliation and the frustration is. That energy has to change because that's a low vibrational energy. We want to change that to a high vibrational energy, and that's what the Divine is talking about today. So we have the Hawk, that is the number 2, and that is the bringing things together or separating or balancing. So it's like you have to imagine the number 2 is a sword. And the sword has got 2 sides, like a double-edged sword. One side is to divide, one side is to bring together. And it is about omens and messages. So there might be something coming in this week that actually is going to bring a message towards you, or you're going to be giving a message that could cause some separation or division, or it will bring things together. Also remember, this is about balance. So when we're going to separate or give a message or give somebody's bringing you a message or you're giving a message, it's extremely important to really ask yourself, does this message need to be given? If it is, it needs to be in love, because if you divide something, that can actually harm somebody for life. So, because it's like the loaf of bread, okay? You get a beautiful loaf of bread out of the oven, fresh loaf of bread, feels good, whatever, no cuts, no nothing. And you go give somebody a message that you shouldn't have given, or maybe were too quick to give that message when you didn't have all the information. And what that does is, remember, we have a sword. It's the number 2. So we're bringing things together or we're separating them, right? So that sword cuts that loaf. Now you've got a cut in that loaf. You've got the end pretty much ready to cut off. You cannot bring that loaf back together, a whole loaf. So that's why this future card, the watery fairy, about your feelings and your emotions, have to be in check. This is your future energy. This is not just for the next week. This is for 2 to 3 months. This is going to be happening. You're probably going to be thinking about it and focusing in on it, because we have to know that we do not take a knife and cut something because we are cutting a loaf of bread based off of our feelings and our emotions and not being in control of them. Well, he said, she said, there goes the loaf. Well, he said, she said, there goes another slice. So before you know it, that whole loaf has all sliced up, and you can put it back together, but it's never going to be the same. So this is why it's really important, your future energies, whatever you're going to say this week or get this week, make sure it's in love and that it is needed to be said in truth, because you can be tearing somebody apart. Now, if you're bringing something together, that's a different story. But you have to be in control of your feelings and your emotions, just like Leo's. Leo's was the divine card. Somebody doesn't know how to live by first dimension or second dimension, which they don't even know what they're living. What do you mean by first dimension? Are you living with a worldly head thought process, or are you living with a spiritual thought process? Some people don't even have a clue. This here, though, is going to have effect on somebody else, because this is about a message. This is about either you getting a letter or a text or something's being shared or whatever. My concern is that the first energy out is that it is not good, because somebody is not a nice person, because their mindset is in the wrong place. It's the mindset of the world. It's the mindset of low vibrations. It's the mindset of selfishness. It's the mindset with retaliation. Retaliation isn't getting back at somebody. It's actually making that person who is retaliating feel good. This is a concern for me, because if somebody's going in to share some information, it needs to be uplifting. It needs to be of love. It needs to be of truth, or not be said. Because we all get into each other's lanes way too much and gossip too much when we don't have the facts. This is about get your facts before you give a message. Make sure it's not your feelings and your opinions, but make sure you have the facts before you say or do anything. Because if it's hurtful, it can hurt somebody for a lifetime. Yeah, you could end something. This is quick. This isn't a reading I like to do. Definitely is not. But I do it because the divine says I'm obedient. This is going to end something really, really quick. And it's, unfortunately, it's going to hurt. Not good. This is low vibrational. I do not like it. Whew. Gives me a very heavy, heavy feeling. Somebody really is in the world process. And you know what? If you're hurt, you have to look at why you're hurt. Is this something that you could have avoided? Is this something that you manipulated to have happen? Is this something that you could have, avoided happening? Is this based on a poor decision, a poor choice that you did, but now you're blaming it on somebody else? Now, this might be you, but it also might be somebody coming at you with this energy. It is not a healthy energy, divine is saying. This is not me, is what he just said. This is not me. This is not the way he rolls. But it is the first card. It's the first oracle. And it is the number 3. It has to be acknowledged. You know, I used to be jealous. I used to be a jealous type, but you know what? I had a lot of healing to do. I had a lot of self-healing to do. And once I did learn and I got my self-value, I got my self-esteem, I got my self-love, you know what? Then that all changed. I'm not jealous anymore. If divine puts a person in my life for a relationship, it's great. It may not last, it may last. But the thing is that I know myself that I will step away if it's not healthy for me. Before, oh, no, don't go. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Say sorry for everything, even though you're not even guilty for anything. That's not self-love. That's where you really, really need to do self-love homework and go to divine and ask for that healing. Because you can heal. This is the Ace of Cups. This is an offering of love. This is an offering of peace, of joy. This is what the divine has to offer. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. He offers you the second. He offers you, and this is a message. This message that I'm giving right now is for somebody. This is the message for somebody. This is going to resonate with somebody because they've hit it and they're so miserable or so angry that this has to stop. It's like, you know, I'm just sick and tired of being angry all the time. That's because your feelings and your emotions are controlling you. So for somebody here watching, this is what the message is. It's resonating this week. I'm your messenger, I guess. If it doesn't change, your life is just going to go this way. And you're going to be around these kind of people. I don't want you to be there. I want you to be going up. You know, it's like a tornado. When a tornado comes around, it doesn't throw things down. It lifts things up. I mean, it destroys things. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I heard of cows being taken up and landing and they're fine. I've heard of destruction of houses. They're nothing to play around with. Mother Nature is never something to play around with. However, it lifts up. It moves things up. And that's what I want for you guys. All right. But something's coming to an end. And this is maybe out of your anger. Maybe this is out of your thought process. This is out of your jealousy, your insecurities. A lot of cards here. Let me see if I can read this. Is this the way that you wanted these? Because they're all sort of out of whack. Okay, Divine, is this the way that you wanted these cards? Okay. So what we have next is the 8 of Cups. Something's off. Something's not quite right. Something is missing balance. Maybe somebody's ashamed of something. Maybe something's angry because you don't know the whole story. For somebody, you don't know the whole story and you're jumping to conclusions. And you're hanging on to the past. The number 4 of Pentacles. You're hanging on to the past. You're not letting go. And that is what's keeping you bound. Your anger, your frustration, your jealousy, your insecurities, your self-work that you need to do is keeping you bound in that spot. And it's, how's that working? How's that working for you? How many friends you got? How many jobs have you changed? How many people have you blamed for your choices and your decisions? Now, again, this is probably not you, but you have to ask that person that's coming at you. This is probably where they're coming. Okay, so you have the opportunity to change. You have this. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have strength, and then we have the 6 of Wands. Okay, this means that you can have everything that you want, but your mindset's got to change. And it does take strength to break away from bondage. Now, you could say bondage, stronghold, or you could say addiction. You could say whatever it is, because you know what? Anger can be an addiction. It's like, or dysfunction, or all those kind of things could become very comfortable. And so you don't want to change. But this is the way it is. No, it's not. It is not. But it does take strength to step away and say, I'm going to change my life to make it better and lift it up. And I'm going to turn things around. That is second dimension. That's spirit. That is where you go to divine first. You don't go to tarot first. You go to divine first. Say, I need help. Change my life around. I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to retaliate. Because Patty said that your retaliation is 10 times worse than mine. Yes, it is. I've had witness of who he has retaliated against. He's shown me what he did more so than what I could have ever done. And the victory then ends up being yours. And people are seeing the change in you. People are seeing that you're controlling your feelings. You're making active action towards controlling yourself. The road rage, everything like that. The people are seeing it, and they're like, maybe they don't say it to their face, or whoever it is to their face, but they're like, they've changed. Look at this. They're totally different. I love this person. Yeah. But again, this message for somebody, definitely, somebody loves to gossip. This low vibrational energy going around telling everybody things that you shouldn't be telling, things that should stay in your lane, things that you need to fix yourself before you go gossip about somebody else. That needs to change. Now, again, Sagittarians, this may not be you, but it might be somebody in your family. It might be your friends, maybe somebody. And if it is, and you say like, oh man, this sounds like so-and-so, share this video with them. Share it. Because you know what? I want them out of this bondage as much as you do. I want them. Not only I, because I'm the conduit, divine. Divine wants you to be in love and truth. Because it is a much happier and it's more celebration. It's people will celebrate around you by you changing your attitude and everything that you have. All right? Wow, where does time go? But this, again, is about control. That's the message, control. Are you in control of your life, or is your life in control of you? Yeah, again, we have the strength card. We have the page. There's double strength. This is going to be double strength. You can do this. I've been there. You can do this. And somebody out there is curious about this. All of a sudden, somebody's going to share this, and somebody's going to like, maybe she has something. Maybe she's onto something. Maybe I am a little angry. Maybe I need to figure this out. You got my email address. You can always ask. Again, life coach is pretty much what I do. But the thing is that this is going to be a celebration. This is going to be a celebration because somebody is going to take a hold of their life, and they are going to begin to control their life, not other people controlling it, not people wanting them to be who they want them to be, but they are going to be themselves. They are going to love themselves enough to break away from insecurities, stand up in who they are, in love and value, and get rid of the anger, because the anger is because you're letting everything else control you. You're not controlling you. Got to control yourself. Let divine help you control yourself. And you need to ask for the help. It's not shameful to ask for help. It is not shameful. Every single person on this earth has to ask for help one way or another. So this isn't shameful. All right. So let's see what the planets have to say, because we are going to be in a new moon energy. Again, this is a balance thing. If you're watching this before the new moon, go back and watch the full moon reading, because it's going to play into the rest of the month also. But this is about balance. This is about, this is for this person here, whoever this is for, they're in a rut. They can't seem to get out of the rut because they're bound to this guy. They're bound to the low vibrations. They're bound to the anger. They're bound to the frustration. Well, I'm just an angry person. Well, that's because you're not doing your inner work to find out where that foundation and that grounding came from and break free so that you can have all the wonderful things. And most of all, divines. Love, peace, calmness, joy, everything. Okay. So get out of the rut. Ask for help. If you don't know where to get it, email me. I'm great for resources or how to find it or how to get it. Google is full of tons of self-help. Go to some spiritual help. Don't go to secular help. Then you're going to end up angry anyway. You know, I went to a secular counselor in my 20s, didn't help me one bit. Went to a spiritual counselor through my divorce. Amazing counselor. Unfortunately, he moved away, but he got me started on my path, and that's who I am. I can't do counseling or coaching unless that person is spiritual and either at my level or above me in their growth, because I have too many abilities. Unfortunately, sometimes it gets me into trouble and alone, which is fine with me. That I can have my animals, I'm fine. If I can have my property as far as some earth and nature, I'm fine. But love is awesome. Loving another person, sharing is another person. This Ghostlands showed up every single reading today in these for the moon, the new moon energy. Every single moon. This is funny. This is actually sort of hilarious. Okay, this is exactly what we were talking about. Somebody hit rock bottom. First card needs to end. Hit rock bottom. It's got to change. It's got to change. And it is up to you whether you actually bring your emotions together, because it's a number 3. Again, it has to be an acknowledgement that you want what you want a better thing. You've got to control your life, get out of life controlling you. And then the other thing is for the number 8, this is about your ambition and your potential. But the Ghostlands is about somebody's thinking too far ahead, because that has nothing to do with right now, and it may never happen. So you need to focus in on now. So you can focus a little bit out there, but do not just leave it there, put it on the back burner and say, okay, this is what I'd like to, but I got to focus in on right now, because that is irrelevant to what's happening right now, because it all depends on you and your change on how the future is going to be. Whether the divine's going to throw a switch back in it and take you a different way, or he's going to allow you to keep on that path. That's the thing about thinking too far in the future, because he'll throw a switch back in it and change life around just like that if you're headed the wrong way. All right? Woo, Sagittarius. So somebody coming to you with a message, or maybe you're going to give somebody this message. This is going to be an interesting week for you guys. Not one I like to start out with because it's very low vibrational. But the divine is trying to get you to go high vibrational. So this is really a life-changing moment for somebody. And somebody does have to pull the strength from underneath to actually look at themselves. Now time to go really do some self-healing and self-growth, because it's beautiful when you turn it around. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. So you're talking from experience, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. You know, you don't have to be angry anymore. And what a great feeling. Really, really, it's a very lifting feeling, and you'll feel like flying like this hawk. It's amazing. All right. So you guys, you have a wonderful week. I will see you. Don't forget, if you want to watch the new moon reading, hit the subscribe, the bell. That'll notify you when I'm on. I don't have a thumbnail yet because I'm not quite sure what time it is. I got to see what my physical therapy. My knee's recovering too slow. And then I will see you on the 18th for your reading if you're not there for that one. All right. Take care. Remember to share this if you think this is somebody that you know. All right. Take care.